After our glorious week in the Grampians, we headed straight over the border, back into South Australia, and full steam into Adelaide CBD. We had a massive day running around and doing errands, buying groceries and stocking up ready for our Flinders adventures.
We got everything we wanted done just before the sun went down. Our camp for the night was about an hour away. This was the latest we have ever set up camp.
The next morning we packed up and hit the road, headed to our first Flinders stop, a nice morning hike at Dutchmans Stern, just outside of Quorn.
There was a lot of wildlife about when we were driving in. Something makes me feel that this place doesn't get many visitors.
We both noticed how different the landscapes were compared to the Grampians. The flora and fauna were a lot more rugged looking here.
It was a perfect autumn day with blue skies and cool temperature. We completed the 4.5 kilometer hike in just under an hour.
The views from up top were magical, a great hike to kick off our Flinders journey.
En route to our next stop, I saw some glass glisten on the side of the road, and I was determined to see if it was old bottles.
Well, he did find something old, not glass bottles, but a few old glass pole insulators. Pretty cool.
Not far down the road was our next stop, the Kangaroos ruins. Once upon a time, Kangaroos used to be a working sheep and cattle station in the mid-1800s. Now all that's left is ruins of the station, old woolshed and cemetery.
Now, it was a tough decision on where to base ourselves for the Central Flinders Ranges. There are quite a few dog-friendly stations to choose from. We decided to go with the one which had the best overall reviews, Rawnsley Park Station.
Just as we were turning in, another 2 caravans also turned into the station. That must be a good sign.
We opted to camp in the unpowered section for a few nights.
The next morning we were excited to start exploring. Armed with our free map, we headed off to our first stop of the day, which was Kangaroo Rock.
The signage said it's about a 20-minute walk into the rock, so off we went.
As we got closer to the dried up riverbed, we saw a cluster of wallabies just sitting around. I don't think the GoPro captured how many there were.
And ta-da! We're here. Only joking. It was another 100 metres up the track. The art was pretty cool. Great to see a large cluster of drawings.
After returning from our walk, we jumped into the car and headed to the official national park area of the Flinders. Our next stop being the Kangaroos tree.
The Kasniak tree is a red river gum which was made famous by a photographer called Harold Kasniak.
Quick fun fact, Harold is Aussie legend Dick Smith's grandfather.
A 30-minute detour led us to Sacred Canyon. The short walk into the canyon was quite spectacular. We were a little disappointed with the rock art. Ah well, off to our next stop, the Information Centre in Willapina Pound.
We had a little look-see around and grabbed a map of the walking trails before heading off. To finish off our day, we opted to do the scenic drive from Bunyuru to Brachina Road via the Razorback Lookout.
It's deflating the tyres.
The drive did not disappoint and was very scenic. We were in awe at every turn and thoroughly enjoyed the easy 1 hour drive. Spoiler alert, this was actually our favourite part of our overall Flinders experience.
Wow, what an awesome day at the Flinders.
The following day, we opted to have a quiet morning around camp and took Rusty on some small walks around the station. In the afternoon, we decided to go climb Rawnsley Bluff, where the car park is located in Rawnsley Park Station.
Now we've been on our fair share of hikes, but let me tell you, this one was difficult. About 1/4 in, it was very steep and rocky. Lots of rest and drink breaks were had on the ascend up the hill.
We did get lost at one point. We were off the main track for a good few hundred meters until we realised and had to backtrack.
Eventually we made it to the Bluff Lookout, and also swung into the Willapina Pound Lookout. Overall we'd hiked 14 kilometers on this trek, and it was only a short drive back to our campsite.
Well, after 3 glorious nights in Rawnsley, we decided to move further north. A quick top up on diesel and we were on our way.
Bye bye Rawnsley Park, you've been great. We had found a free camp on Wikicamps in which we wanted to check out.
Parachilna Gorge Free Camp was that spot. We set up on one side of the riverbed and relaxed the afternoon away. The gorge is situated well and truly outside of the official national park area, so dogs are welcome.
So I was just putting the camera gear into the car and there was a bloody mouse. There's a bloody mouse. I don't know where it's gone. So I started the car and I got the stop going. There she is. I think it's a 12-inch sub, I think. Try and get the vibrations going. Try and get the mouse out of the car. See how we go, see if it crawls up our legs. But yeah.
Despite the mouse mystery, we had set off for our day's adventure. We had a few spots lined up to check out, and all of them were on the outside of the national park area, so Rusty was able to come along for the drive.
We saw lots of animals and found some old ruins before making it into the township of Blindman. Nestled right into the Flinders Ranges, the town only has a population of 35 people, but it is claimed to be the highest town in South Australia.
After having a look around Blindman, we headed south to our last stop of the day, the impressive Great Wall of China.
was a blissful afternoon watching the sunset from camp. The colours in the sky were incredible. By the time we got the drone up, the sun had set and the full moon was out.
So, the mouse episode, part 2. I was checking the car this morning and I had a feeling that if the mouse was still in there, it'd be in the drone case because that's where it was getting all the foam and stuff. So I caught it this morning in the drone case and it was just about to get out of the case and I trapped it like a mouse trap. And he's not too happy. I just got him by the tail, so at least there's no mouse in the car anymore.
We loved our stay at Parachiana Gorge and we were a little sad to be leaving. Farewell Flinders, you've been epic, but it's time to hit the Oodnatta track.
If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. Cheers, legends.